Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monique. Compliments of the season. If you are new here, please do well to click on the red button below to subscribe. In these tutorials, we'll be learning how to make this easy shift dress with overlap V-shaped collar neck design and a front pocket. So let's get into it. So I'll be using about 3 yards of this Ankara fabric, and also this black and white Ankara. I'll be using half yard for the neck and sleeve. So this is the fabric. I folded it into two. So I'll go ahead and just mark out the shoulder line. So my measurement will start from the shoulder line. I'm going to take the neck width. I'll use 4 inches for the neck width. Then I'll also take the shoulder width. The shoulder is 15 divided by 2 will give me 7.5. I'm adding extra 1 inch for ease. Then from this point, I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I'll go back to the neck width and slant my measuring tape. I'll slant it this way and take 11 inches for the neck depth. So after doing this, I'll just connect the line also by slanting it. It's a V neckline. Then I'll take my chest line from this shoulder slope. I'll be using 8 inches for the chest line. Then I'll start on my measurement from the shoulder line here. I'm going to take the waist, shoulder to waist, I'm using 17 inches. Shoulder to hip, I'll be using 26 inches. Then shoulder to full length, I'll be using 40 inches. I'm adding extra 2 inches for seam allowance. Then I'll go ahead and connect all the lines. So what I have on the shoulder width, I'm going to place it on the chest line, and I have 8.5 inches. Then I'm going to take a straight line from the shoulder to the chest line this way. Then from the chest line, I'm going to take the bust circumference. Quarter of my bust is, the bust is 38. Quarter of 38 will give me 9.5. I'm adding 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for seam allowance. Then on the waist is 32. Quarter of 32 will give me 8 inches. I'm adding 2 inches for seam allowance. On the hip is 42. Quarter of 42 will give us 10.5. I'm adding 2 inches for seam allowance. So what I have on the hip, I'll place it on the full length, about 13 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect all the lines like this. So the 2 inches allowance I took is for ease of the dress, because I'll be using 1 inch to sew it. Then from the chest line, I'll come up by 3 inches here for our armhole. Then from this 3 inches mark, I'll come in by 0.75. Then I'm going to slant the line from the shoulder width to this 0.75 like so. Then I'll use the armhole curve to connect the armhole. Now on the neck depth, on this point here, I'm going to come in by 1 inch here to give us our neck style line. So I'll be cutting it through from this 1 inch here. I'll cut like a straight line. Then I'll now slant it to the neck width this way. So when I open it, you'll see what I mean. So I forgot to slant the shoulder. So I'm going to, remember I came down by 1 inch. So I'm going to slant the shoulder. So now the next thing I'll do is to cut it out. So this is what the neckline looks like. This is what we have. As you can see on this point here, it's like a square shape. So I have around 2 inches here. So now I'll be using the front pattern to cut out the back. I've also folded another fabric into two. So I'll be placing the front to cut it out. So the difference is the back armhole is going to be half an inch wider than the front armhole. And also on the neck depth, we are using the same neck width as the front for the back. Then on the neck depth for the back, I'm going to use 1 inch. So I'm connecting it like this. Then I'll connect it to the neck width. So we have this. Then I'll go ahead and cut it exactly like this. That is, I'm using the exact front pattern, but the difference is I'm adding extra ½ inch for the back armhole. Then this is the back neckline, and this is our pattern. So I'm going to keep the back aside. Then we are going to work on the front panel. So I'll be using this black and white fabric to cut out the band, and the band will be all round. So now I will fold the fabric into two. It's on a fold. I cut it by 2.5 inches here. Then when I open it up, I have around 5 inches. So I added interfacing to the band. So this is it, the interfacing, to give it weight. So now I'll be attaching it to the dress, but before then I'm going to join the front and back shoulder together. So on this part we have around 2 inches. On this point we have 2 inches here for the neck depth. So I've gone ahead to join the front and back shoulder together by 1/2 inch. So this is where I joined it. Now I'll get the center of the collar, sorry, the band. You can still call it a collar. So I've notched the band on the center point here. I also notched the back neck, that's the center back. So I'll be placing it from this point here. That is the 2 parts I notched. I'll be placing it this way all the way around. So I'll be sewing it at the edge. So I'll just use my pin to secure it. So I made the band longer than the round neck. It's better for us to have excess than for us not to have the exact neckline. So I've gone ahead to pin it up. So I'll be sewing it round by 1/2 inch and show you. So guys, I've sewn it. I sew it by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to turn it to the wrong side and show you something. So on this point I stitched it a little bit above the exact neckline here. I stitch it by like 1/4 inch above it. So I'll be notching this point like this, then I'll notch this other side here. So the reason why I'm notching it is for it to have ease, so that when we turn the collar to the wrong side it will stay firm. So I'm trying to place it properly. So this is the good side, so I'm trying to tuck it in. So I'm going to overlap the 2 collar together this way. So as you can see, I overlapped it here like so. So I'm going to fold this part in, then I'll also turn it again to the wrong side, and I'm going to pick this point here, this part. I'll pick it up, then I'll cut out the excess. So I'm going to be sewing this point here. I'll sew it by 1/4 inch to secure the band. So the notch I did is just to help the band to align properly, that is to overlap properly. So I'll just secure it with a pin, and I'll be sewing this point by 1/4 inch. So we'll have something like this. So I'll take it to the sewing machine and show you when I'm done. So guys, I've done that. I've stitched it and I've also given it a good press. So this is the wrong side. So this is the point I stitched by 1/4 inch. I've secured the band, that is the overlap neckline. I've secured it, and we have this. As you can see, it's looking very neat. So you have to be careful when doing the neckline. So now I'll be cutting out the pocket for the front. So I'll be needing for the neck width, sorry, I beg your pardon, for the pocket width I'll be using 7 inches. Then for the depth of the pocket, I'll be using 5 inches, or rather I'll be using 5.5 inches. 1/2 inches will be for joining because I'll be attaching a band to it. So the band I'll be adding is around 2.5 inches. So I'm going to mark the 5.5 inches like this. So this is our band. I've also added interfacing to it. So it's on a fold. I have 2.5 inches. So it will be like this on the pocket. So we'll have something like this. So I'll go ahead and cut it out and show you. So I have 7 inches for the pocket width. So this is our pocket. I cut out 2. So this is it. Then I'm going to fold this point, this side, by 1/2 inch. So I'll fold this other side by 1/2 inch. Then I'll repeat the same thing on the lower part. I'll fold it also by 1/2 inch. I'll be giving it a good press to secure the fold I made. So what I did on this part, I'll repeat the same thing on the other pocket. So we're going to have something like this. So this part will also be folded in like so. So with the band, I'll have around 7 inches for the pocket. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. I'll trace it and make sure it's aligning, then I'll cut it out. So I'm placing it this way, and I'm going to be sewing it here by 1/2 inch. So what I did on this pocket, I'll repeat it on the other pocket. So I'll just take it to the sewing machine and come back and show you. So this is our pocket. I've attached the band to it, and this is the part I folded, and I've also given it a good press. So we have this two, so we'll be attaching it to the dress. So this is the center of the front panel, that's the center front. So from the shoulder here, I'm going to come down by 19 inches. So I'm going to mark the 19 inches here. So I'll be repeating the same thing on the other side. I'll mark the 19 inches. Then from this center front, this crease line, I'm going to come in by 2.5 inches here. So I'll mark the 2.5 inches. Then I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. From this center front, I'll also mark 2.5 inches. So this is our 2.5 inches mark. Remember, we came down from the shoulder by 19 inches. So now I'm going to place this pocket on this point here, on this marked point here. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the other pocket. I'll place it on this exact mark. That's on the 19 inches mark. So I'm going to secure it with a pin. It's important to secure it with a pin so that when you are sewing it, it's going to be very easy. So I'll be taking it to the sewing machine and I'm going to give it a very tiny stitch. I'm going to sew it very tiny all the way round to the top part of the pocket. So I'll do that and come back and show you. So guys, I've fixed the pocket. So this is our pocket. And this is the other one. So I've also given it a good press. So this is the tiny stitch. As you can see, it's not visible. So this is what I meant. Now I'll be joining the front and back together like this. I'll make sure it tallies. Then I'll be sewing it by 1 inch. So I'll start sewing it from this point all the way to the full length by 1 inch. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. I'm going to be sewing it by 1 inch all the way. Then when I'm done, I'll come back and show you. So guys, I've done that. I've stitched the two sides. So this is our side seam. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the sleeve. So we're almost done with the dress. So I already have a video on how to draft a basic sleeve. I'll be dropping the link on the description box. So the length of the sleeve is around 15 inches. I'll be using 2 inches for seam allowance, but I've decided to add band to the sleeve. So the band is an afterthought. I didn't want to really add a band to it, but I decided to just make it a little bit different. That was why I decided to attach a band to the sleeve, but it's not really compulsory. So the length I have here for the band is around 2 inches. So I'll be attaching it to the dress. So I'll place it this way, then I'll do the same thing for the second sleeve, then I'll show you when I'm done. So I fixed the sleeve. So this is our sleeve. So this is the band. Now I'll be sewing the hemline. So I'll be double folding it. I'm going to fold it by 1 inch like this. Then I'll refold it again by 1 inch. Then I'm going to sew it all the way around. Then when I'm done, I'll show you. So guys, we are done. We fixed the sleeve, we fixed the band on the neckline, we fixed the pocket, we've also fixed the hemline, we've stitched the hemline. So I also went ahead to weave it so that it would look neat inside. I weaved it inside. I also weaved the collar neckline. So we've come to the end of these tutorials. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and happy holidays.